One was furious upon receiving your letter. Seized with anger, one set out to bring you to your senses. Skyward! In truth, one had more than a few misgivings about your chosen partner. As an exorcist, but soon, one came to appreciate the devotion he bestowed upon you, unwilling to begrudge someone of such, wishing to grant you a life without regrets. One gathered many divine ingredients and used one's own blood. As for how to deliver the medicine, after much one took great care to alter one's features and select the appropriate attire. Only after meticulous scrutiny did one finally set out for Wangshu. As one expected, one was quite torn. Should one have Yeah! Skyward! Scatter! Nevertheless, one would speak to you about another matter, if you are amenable. Even considering your loss of memory, one was simply flabbergasted that you could so easily forget the consequences of consuming medicine infused with adeptal blood. Its proclivity to attract monsters is hardly that complicated of a concept to remember. To think that you tried to travel while weak from sickness and heavy with child. Had one not intervened to clear the fog, all of you would have been lost during the night. Skyward! Skyward! Scatter! Seize the skies! Scatter! Those monsters would hardly have pursued you with such ferocity. Sad godly remains, in turn, were likely. One was, after all, an active participant in the Archon War. Some of the gods were likely shattered by contraptions of one's very making. In the end, one was relieved to see you endure through the night. At the break of dawn, one heard an infant's cry pierce through the air. To see you happy, that was more than enough. Now you should have a complete understanding of the events.
Wait! But if that's true, then the crane who took care of me when I was sick must also be...
Ah, one had almost neglected to recount the absurdities of that tale. Just as you and I troubled one, upon finding you burning with fever, one made plans to bring you back to one's abode for treatment. When one asked you why, apparently you believed that one could not possibly be it. One had no choice but to apply powder to one's body to conceal the variegated nature of one's appearance. You became more than amenable enough when one stood before you devoid of any other coloring. It bears mentioning, however, that as a crane, you and I was nearly entirely pure white. Perhaps fate... Now all has been revealed. One owes you an apology. One has always viewed you as a disciple of equal standing. Still, one could not reveal your identity right away. Had one simply informed, memories are most meaningful when recalled by those—
Master, I must ask. If you found me all those years ago,
One has never regarded your— When it is time for one's progeny to leave the nest, it is the responsibility— 'Tis a refuge referred to by many a name in mortal right. One speaks, of course, of a place not unlike one's— One expect— 40 years ago, you chose a path without a future. Even the power of an Adeptus has its limits. Fortunately, you were able to avoid that scenario.
So,
One will help her reclaim her original form as a wild—
she's gotta go back to being a regular—
Master, I don't know how I could possibly repay your
Granny? Please don't leave a—
Don't be sad, dear child. Granny has led a wonder. Don't forget to eat well, okay? A growing—
I promise, Granny.
Good girl. Good girl. I won't stop until I can turn into a human without having to— That's a good girl. Even though we—
I'll eat well, Granny. I promise. And I'll live—
That's a good girl. I'm so sorry, Master.
Shiryu.
Let her be. At her— Tears are a necessary part of maturation. Now that the issue has been resolved, you should all—
I always believed we would see each other again, that our days of separation would finally end, and all my troubles would be behind me. If only things could stay this way forever.
A nightmare? Curious. If you're relaxed, shouldn't your dreams be pleasant?
It was a good dream. It's just...
You weren't ready to wake up. eloquent as one may be, words of comfort are not one's strong suit. You are doing all you can. One can see your strength of will, your fearlessness in the face of danger. And so, whatever your dream may be, one believes that you shall achieve it. Of course, whenever the perils you face overwhelm you, or you become weary, one is always here for you. After all, as an elder, it is only right to look out for the young ones.
Huh? Was Paimon sleeping just now? Oh. Madam... Oh, Shuyu, you're awake! I feel... Madam Adeptus?
Oh, and
I know Granny thought what she did back then, but... Even though Granny lost her memories, I could become a cool Adeptus like you, and help a whole...
upon some reflection, one supposes you are no mere mortal.
Thank you so much, Madam...
Shuyu, Paimon's gonna let you in on a little secret. We've seen Cloud Retainers too. If you join them, you'll never enjoy Wanmin Restaurant's delicious cooking ever again.
How utterly preposterous. Every individual must find their own path to enlightenment.
Well, you say that, but Paimon's not seeing any tasty treats up here.
Although Mount Outsong is rich in natural beauty, that is precisely why one plans to relocate to Liu.
Whoa, you're leaving Mount Outsong?
One has never concerned oneself with the... Yet in the end, all of one's disciples ended up, and one has reflected on this fact for many years now. One can only one is most curious as to what... Why are you all so silent?
Paimon is, just a bit...
One has precious little time to squander. One will be assuming the identity of a human while residing in Liyue.
Don't worry, we'll help you keep it. So, what...
Perhaps in 2 days' time. One has some matters to see to before one's departure. One has already picked out a handsome property near Chuhu Rock. 'Tis no...
Seems like you've really thought... Then how about we meet up?
A sensible plan. Oh, also, why don't you take this suspense somnia mechanism as a
Awesome! Thanks! Hey, didn't we promise Shincho that we'd tell him what we found out? Should we make a trip to the Feiyun Commerce Guild? It's totally up to you. So, about your move to
I have left an explanatory note in my considering their recent pension.
We meet again, dear friends.
Great! And it...
Ah, I see. So the stories didn't get it right after all. Thank goodness for the help of that adept. Although I cannot claim to know exactly how their story will unfold, thank you for helping me fill in the gaps. And don't worry.
Useless!
Your concerns are excessive and...
To be quite... In what way are any of these ordinary? Every single item here could be worth more than everything I own combined. I have to be careful.
We're here, Cloud! Miss Ship...
Ah, perfect timing. This ignoramus is question. I'll have you know, these items have remained untouched in my purse.
Several...
Indeed. They're
Yep, they've definitely...
Hear that? Had I not found myself in need of Mora, I would doubt their authenticity any further, and I may...
Whoa, 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 whoa! Please don't go! I apologize for any insult, miss.
An expert, you say? Very well. I will wait for a little while longer, then. Traveler?
Master! Oh, it's you two again.
Shoo you! You got a new...
Mm-hmm. Master made it.
Huh? You know how to make...
Do I know how to make...
Master, I brought in most of my stuff.
Fret not. I shall help you move them into your room.
Actually, I should probably, sort through my stuff.
It appears... Now, this expert you mentioned...
Soon. Here, allow me to make some introductions. This is Mr. Zhongli. Mr. Zhongli, this is Miss Shen Yun. She's the one who's looking to sell the collection of...
If it isn't Miss Shen Yun.
Indeed.
Quite well, thank you. I was fortunate enough over the past few days to enjoy both a...
So you...
Indeed. How fortunate we are that fate has brought us together again. If you are otherwise
You are too kind, Mr. Zhongli. True collectors pride themselves on their wealth of knowledge and eye for detail.
Why, you flatter me, Miss...
Not at all.
While I am loath to butt into... You two already knew each other, and you seem to have quite a cordial relationship.
A preposterous accusation.
Miss Shen Yun speaks the truth.
Say no more. Let us depart.
I jest. What fool would still... I deeply apologize for doubting you. So,
There is no cause for concern. They are indeed rare and precious valuables. Take this mechanism, for instance. Though one may not... The same can be said for this one here. I am sure you have heard from your travels that the study of mechanisms is among the most wondrous art.
All right. Then, in that case, Miss Shen Yun, I'll take the lot.
The Northland Bank?
I fear people only use the term bank nowadays.
Zhongli!
My friends,
We've been great! How about you?
my days have been quite pleasant as well. As for you, Miss Shen Yun,
I must say, the name...
whatever for.
Well...
It would seem that you have...
One has indeed. One's previous days were all brief. Now that one has made up one's mind to move, this city is much...
Not unlike the ocean tides, so too shall the movement of people ebb and flow. From turmoil to peace, enlightenment to aspiration.
Alright, that's enough reflection for one day.
You make a valid point, Paimon. Now that the sale has concluded...
Perhaps you have forgotten, Cloud Retainer, but I once tried my hand at that dish.
Oh?
It was a reunion between friends several centuries ago. Alas, you must have been too preoccupied.
Hardly. 'Twas most certainly out of consideration. It is settled then. Bamboo shoot soup, mora meat, crab roe tofu. One has already passed word to Shenhe Ganyu to make a reservation.
It should be a most...
Shu Yu, come now, it is time to dine. Ah, this gentleman over here is Mr. Zhongli. He is...
a humble employee of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor.
Nice to meet you too.
That should be everyone.
Sounds good. Actually, Master, have you ever tried Adeptus' temptation? I heard it's impossible to stop eating after even just one...
That sounds rather...
Huh?